Hello everyone, this is Himanshu Chandra from Adhyayan IT Solutions. For the purpose of this video lecture, we'll be covering for loops in C and some of its interesting variations. So I'm using Codelight for editing and compiling and running C program here. Codelight is an open source tool, you can download it over the net. It doesn't matter if you have some other compiler, you can use Borland C, C++ or GNU Linux or something of that sorts. Codelight works well on Windows and that's why I'm using this here. Right, so if you create a new project in Codelight, this is what is generated by default. You need not worry about this for the time being. What we'll be doing is learning what a for loop in C is and how it works actually. The objective is to make you comfortable in using a simple for loop in C. This is totally for beginners. So in C, if you want to store a number, a whole number, what you do is create an integer variable. By creating an integer variable, what you are actually doing is saying that I have something known as I and I'll be storing a number inside that I. You can give whatever name you want to. You are saying it is a whole number and that is why this is int. You say I is equal to 3. So this 3 will be stored in the memory of the C compiler now. Now you can print this. This is the command to print. I'll not go into the inner workings of how print syntax is and how it works. For the time being, just assume this is how you print something. You can save this. You can go into the menu and build this project. If there are no errors and no warnings, you will find this at the bottom of your screen. And then you can run this. Control F5 is the shortcut. You will see the output 3. Now you can say I is equal to I plus 1. That means 3 has been incremented by 1, so 3 becomes 4. So if you print again, it will print 4. First 3 and then 4. What I'll do is put a \n here. What this means is insert a new line. Once again, you need not worry about that for the time being. So it prints 3, then it prints 4. I can do this again. And it will print 3, 4 and 5. Now suppose I was asked to do this 5 times or till I becomes 10. It will be a long process. I'll have to copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. What I can do is write a for loop here. So what I'll do is comment all this. I'll remove this altogether. And we can write the for loop. This is how you write a for loop. First, you need another variable. For, this is the syntax, x is equal to 0, x less than 3, x is equal to x plus 1. Then inside that loop you can write anything you want to. I'll write printf x. We'll build this project. It will give a warning. That's not a problem. And then we'll run this. So it prints 0, 1, 2. Why is that? Because you said x is equal to 0. So it started from 0. Now pay very close attention here. For loop accepts three parameters here. They are separated by a semicolon. So first parameter is x equal to 0. This is executed once in the lifetime of the for loop. So the first thing the C or C++ compiler does is goes into the first part, x equal to 0. The first parameter is read, and this is done just once in the lifetime of the for loop. The first thing it will do is read this x equal to 0. So it stored x equal to 0 in its memory. Then immediately it will go to the second part, x less than 3. Here it will check this, whether this is true or false. Is x less than 3? Yes, it is. 0 is less than 3. So it will go into the body of the for loop. It will not go into the third part. It will go into the body of the for loop. Here you have written print x. X is 0 at the time being, so 0 will be printed. Now the compiler will go to the third part now. So the flow is 1, 2, body 3. This is the way compiler moves. In the third part, you have written x is equal to x plus 1. That's fine. That is something which compiler will do. It will increment x by 1. So x will become 1. It was 0, it will become 1. Where does this go after this? It goes back to part 2. 1 is never touched again. It goes back to part 2. So the order is 1, 2, body 3, 2, body 3, 2, body 3, 2, so on and so forth. This is how the loop works. So x has become 1 now. It will check, is 1 less than 3? Yes, it is. So it will be printed 1. Again, x is equal to 1 plus 1. It will increment the value of x by 1. So x becomes 2. It is less than 3? Yes. Print that. Then x becomes 1 more. Then it becomes 3. Is 3 less than 3? No, it is not. So this is not executed. Since this has become false now, x is not less than 3, you come here outside the for loop. Just closing braces wherever that is written. The compiler will come here. Whatever you have done here will be executed now. Suppose I print here. Once again, I print x. So x became 3 and 3 was not less than 3. So compiler came out of the for loop. So if you print x now, what will it print? It will print 3 because that is the last value it found. So 0, 1, 2, 3. You can write something like this. Once again, do not be bothered about the syntax of printf, etc. I run this. 0, 1, 2 are inside the loop, and outside the loop, value is 3. This is how a simple for loop works. Most of you might already know this. Now, since the order is this is executed once, in last case what we could have done, we wanted to print from 3 to 10. So we could have said x equal to 3, print this, x less than equal to 10, and x equal to x plus 1. We did not need this. We did not need this. So print x from 3 to 10. Start from 3 till the time it is less than or equal to 10 is true. So the moment x is 11, this will become false and the for loop will exit, and each time keep on incrementing it by 1. So if you run this, it will print 3 to 10 and outside the loop it will be 11. So that is how it works simply. Now, a few things about C or C++ for loop. You can put multiple things here. So I could have said, see, the order was this is executed once, then this is executed, then this is executed, and then this is executed. So what I can do is do multiple things here. I can say y is equal to y plus 2. I can give another variable here, y, and say y is equal to 100. Here what I can do is print x as well as y. What I am doing here is I am asking C to, after doing the comparison, print something here. It will print x and y, and then it will go here. Here I can separate by a comma multiple statements. I can write increment x by 1 and increment y by 2. Take a few seconds and try to understand what the output would be. You can pause the video if you want. I'll run this now to see what the output is. This is how it works. Let's see. So this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is still the older output. That worked fine. Now what's also happening is y is 100 initially, 100 is printed. Then we said increment it by 2. So 102, then 104, then 106, 108, 110, 112, 114, and then it came out of the loop 116. Try to understand this. The condition for coming out of the loop is still based on whether x is less than equal to 10 or not. But you can do multiple operations here. If you can do multiple operations there, then you can do something like this too. You can remove this from here and put this here. Let's run this. Gives the same output. What's happening is, as we saw, this is the first thing which is executed. Then the control passes on to the conditional statement where it is compared whether this is true or false. So x less than equal to 10. This is true. So the compiler will go into the body. Now you have not written anything in the body, so nothing will be executed. Then it will go to the third parameter. Here you have written print x and y. So it will print that. Then it will increment x and then it will increment y and then go back to the second parameter where it will again check whether x is less than equal to 10 or not. So you can save some typing or you can save some line spaces and write everything here. Since there is nothing in the body here, so there is one syntax which you can do. Since there is nothing which you were going to write in the body anyway, you can omit the curly brackets and just write a semicolon here. This is a one-line for loop. If you execute this, it will still work the same way it did. This is only because there was nothing in the body. If there is something in the body of the for loop, you have to use the curly braces and you cannot use the semicolon like this. But this is shortcut. Right? Now let's see another variation of this conditional statement. And that is all I'll be covering today. I do not want to go into nested for loops or advanced implementations of for loops. This is meant to be an introduction to for loop. Let's see here. I'll comment this out. This is how you comment out in C. This is your for loop for nothing I'll reduce the number. I'll make y is equal to 10. We do not need x now. What will happen here? Take a few seconds, have a look at the program and try to guess what will happen here. Y minus minus is just a shortcut for y is equal to y minus 1. So you can write either. It does not matter. We will cover that later. So you can write y is equal to y minus 1. Note here that I have not given the first parameter here. I have left that blank and used semicolon. So when the compiler will go here inside the for loop, it will not have anything to do for that one time for the first parameter. So it will not do anything. You have given y is equal to 10 here. Then it will go here. It will try to do this. You are doing a comparison operator here. Y greater than 0. Is y greater than 0? Yes, it is. 10 is greater than 0. It will come here and print this 10. Then it will go to the third parameter. Y is equal to y minus 1. It will decrement by 1. So if you decrease 10 by 1, it is 9. It becomes 9. It checks, is 9 greater than 0? Yes. Then it will print 9. So on and so forth. Then outside loop, you can use this. Let's run this. If you see, it is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And once y becomes 0, the loop is exited and outside the value is 0. That is what it does. Right? You could have done this. Put this here. Initialize it here. And then this is not required. It does not matter how you do it. The output will be same. Okay? That was just to show you that you can leave some of the things blank. You can leave this blank, you can leave this blank. We'll cover those implementations later. Now, one very interesting thing in C is 0 is treated as false and any non-zero value is treated as true. So, when you are comparing here, is y greater than 0? It evaluates to a true or a false. Either y will be greater than 0 or y will be less than or equal to or greater than 0, something like that. Less than or equal to 0. That is a true or a false. Now, if you write something like this, only y, I'll just copy paste this so that we can compare the two statements. If I write this, it will still work. I have only written y. I have not written y greater than 0, less than 0, less than equal to 0 of at any sorts. No comparison. I have just written y. For y is equal to 10, y, and then y is equal to y minus 1. I'll run this to see if this works or not. It does. It gives exactly the same output. Why is that? Because C is expecting as a second parameter a true or a false. It has to be a true or a false. So you have to give a comparison. You have to compare something so that a true or false appears. However, as I said, C treats 0 as a false and any non-zero number is a true. So if you have y is equal to 10 and you throw that to C compiler and say return me a true or false, it will say true because y is not 0. If you say 0, 0 is false for compiler. So when you do this, simply write y. It evaluates the value of y. So y initially is 10. 10 is non-zero, so compiler understands that to be a true. So that is true, so it goes into the body. However, you are decrementing it after each print. Eventually, a time will come when y will become 0. So 10, then 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The moment y becomes 0, it will check 0 is true or false. For compiler, for C compiler, 0 is a false. The moment this becomes false, it comes out of the loop. So instead of writing a conditional operator like greater than, less than, equal to, you can give an absolute number there. If that number is 0, it means false for the compiler. If that number is non-zero, it means true for the compiler. So it comes out. That's how you can do this. So we could have done something like this. If the program was this, our simplest for loop could have been this gives you the same output. In fact, I am going to change this and shorten it further. I am not going to explain that code. That is not part of today's video lecture. But you could have done something like this. And the output would have been same. What is happening here and how I am doing that, I will not cover right now. What minus minus y means and why I have written that. But if you are comfortable with the for loop, you can do something like this. This is how you print from 10 to 1. Once you are comfortable with for loops, you will be able to do this very easily. That's all for the content of today's lecture. You can download the sample code files used here from the links given below. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through email or call me up on my phone. The details are here. There is a direct link for this video if you want to download it. If you want to know about the upcoming batches, the schedules, etc., the URL is given here, or you can directly call me up. Hope you like this video. Have a good day.